Wait, is that Star Wars?
I am not getting copyright strike today. Play a real intro. Alright, cadets. It's been many years now, but we're finally getting what we've been waiting for. What we've been working for. What we've been saving that St. Quartz for all this time. Saber Wars 2, baby! This was so dumb. Why am I making this? Why am I writing this? Alright, so I already know that I wasted a lot of your time already, but before I actually talk about the event, there's one thing I want to share. In FGO, there's a golden rule that all players should know. Jokes are the deepest lore. If you don't believe me, here's exhibit 1, 2, 3, etc, etc. You get the idea. So you thought that story about a space Ishtar back in Guildfest was just a joke?
Wrong!
Any joke made in any event might as well be a post-credit Marvel reveal. So make sure you're reading all the stories, yes, even the events, but you were already doing that, right? You were already doing that, right? Alright, so first things first, if you want to get on this ship, yeah, I'm still doing the bit, and start the event, you need to be this tall to ride. Oh, I see. There are some people here who haven't cleared Solomon yet.
Master Skywalker, what are we going to do?
So now that the younglings have been taken care of, it's time to head off. Oh, but before we get on, you're gonna need this. This is the Captain Chaldea, a new mystic code you get near the beginning of the event. It increases MP damage, removes offensive debuffs, increases crit damage, applies evade, heals an ally, but most importantly, it lets you breathe in space. So you're all suited up? Alright, let's get on and I'll give you your event debriefing. So then, let's begin. Saber Wars 2 is a mission-based event. So yeah, just do what you normally do for those. Like the last Saber War, we're going to need to farm up the most powerful resource there is in the Servantverse. Artorium. But before we move on, we'll be right back after these commercial messages. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I got a real special product for you tonight. Introducing Artorium. Now you may be asking yourself at home, isn't that just an aoge from an anime girl spray painted gold? And you'll be right. Why else would it be so valuable? Now, let me show you some of the few things you can do with Artorium. Want to make your drunk saber altar? Not that, use Artorium. Want to make progress in the event and purchase bounties? Use Artorium. Want to get a 5-star? Use your wallet. Now, we have these in a limited supply, so you better call now if you still want them. But if you have these CEs and Artoria, we'll increase the amount of Artorium we give to you tenfold. Oh, and it sounds like we're getting our very first call. Hello, sir. Do you have any questions regarding Artorium?
Yeah, I have a question. I was wondering if any other servants were gonna get any bonuses. You see, I really wanted Artoria, but I never got her and I spent all my money. I sold my house.
I'm sorry, sir, but the only bonuses we're giving at this time to other servants are bonuses to bond and attack. Well, that's all the time we have for questions. So I hope you're ready, and we hope to hear you real soon. Get that Artorium today. The best place to farm Artorium is the planet Arton. Wait, why is that? Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, what else is there? There are 3 command codes you can get from this event. Gentleman with a brilliant goatee's command seal. Yeah, I guess the name checks out. which works pretty well with servants that synergize with burn, such as Tomoe or Yang Guifei. I probably butchered that. Cosmic Balance, with conditions so specific, it's probably only good for MHXX. And finally, we have the Mistress of the Heavens, the Buster meme card. Just put it on anyone who can do Buster memes and go ham. And finally, we have the event shop. What? You expected a joke here?
What kind of joke can I make about a fucking event?
Today's subject, unconventional warfare tactics.
There are 2 challenge quests for this event, and if I were to describe them in a few words, it would be the challenge quest and the cooler challenge quest. The first challenge quest is a fight against MHXX, codenamed Galaxy Guardian. You can challenge it once you clear mission number 99. Oh, okay. So basically all of them. The second challenge quest is a fight against shadow versions of the Knights of the Round Table, codenamed Dark Round Shadow. Is that right? It sounds so awkward. I'm gonna call it some. You know what? I'll call it something else. How about Knights of the Round? Hey, you see what I did there? It's pretty cool, right? You can even abbreviate it as NTR. This challenge quest unlocks after you beat the previous one and purchase the bounty. Alright. First up, Galaxy Guardian. At the beginning of the fight, MHXX is gonna yeet a taunt and a stun to a random party member, but these are blockable and removable, so it's not that big of a deal. MHXX can also declare someone a heretic, or in this case a saber or threat against humanity, who she will hunt down relentlessly due to her niche. Now once you beat her down and she's down to her last bar, she will... She will do a wardrobe change and swap out her defense buff for an attack buff. Once MHXX is on her last leg, she will gain a buff that will charge her MP gauge to max every turn. This is both permanent and unremovable. Despite the somewhat scary sounding power-up, this challenge quest is not that hard. The only real strategy I can tell you is to rush her ass and one-shot her. Oh, I'm sorry, two-shot her. Now here's something you may have already noticed from before. You can suit yourself up with these. We have Twin Star Divas that buffs the damage of one servant, and Bestia del Sol, which buffs the party. And yes, these do stack. Oh, and if you somehow manage to get one of these, you are in luck. These are just EXP for CEs. Alright, now here comes the real challenge. NTR. This is a fight against Shadow Lancelot, Gareth, Tristan, Bedivere, and Gawain in that order. So here's the long short of how this challenge quest is going to work. They're all going to have a massive damage reduction shield called Arc Gift. You're not going to do any damage, even with the previously mentioned CEs. Now, one of them is going to gain taunts, and if you fulfill the required conditions, the shield will go down in the next turn, and that is your go-to to go ham. And remember, this is a constant cycle, so after your damage turn, the shield's gonna come back up and the cycle continues. So think of it as like a on-off, life death, life death. You can even think of it like it's a red light, green light. You know, like in... If you're unable to fulfill that condition, and later on there might be two, then the shield will not go down, and then they're gonna get a massive buff. Here's a list of potential conditions, and here is a list of potential buffs. As you can see from these buffs, you really don't want this to trigger. Now here's a few extra things you should take note of. Even though these are shadow servants, they do their MPs and not an extra attack. Also, specific targets of interest in this fight are Gareth, Tristan, and Gawain. Gareth gets Pierce Invuln on MP, so kill her quick, Tristan can remove the buffs on an ally, has sure hit on MP, and 3 ticks on his MP gauge, so kill him quick. And finally, Gawain is the only one that has an AoE NP, so kill him quick. So remember to stay calm, take your time, and pay attention to those conditions, and you'll beat it eventually. Or just rush it if you're away. Now let's talk about the real thing you've all been waiting for. Gotcha. Let's first talk about the real important banner. The second banner. The second banner has MHXX Alter and Munenori. Honestly, this is a pretty decent banner. It's got... I know what you're all really here for, and that's the first banner that has Calamity Jane and Space Ishtar on it. But I'm gonna keep blueballing you and talk about Calamity Jane first. I'm not very analytical, so take all my thoughts I say from this point on with a grain of salt. But Calamity Jane is a pretty interesting support unit, with a mechanic where she has stronger support buffs depending on the amount of crit stars you have. The good thing is, she doesn't use the crit stars when she uses the skill. She can also support quick pretty well because she reduces enemy quick resistance on MP. Alright, now the main event. Space Ishtar. Honestly, I can't really say much. If you go on YouTube, Space Ishtar is a servant that's talked about way too often. There are many other channels out there that can talk about her in much greater depth than I could possibly do. So I'll leave you with a few pointers on why she's so good. Well, she's an Avenger, so she's rarely gonna get countered. She has a pretty high attack stat. She has a 50% battery. Stacks MP damage on MP. But we all know what's the real reason why she's so good. It's her second skill that lets her change the typing of her NP card. You want to read Quick Servant? Bam, she's a Quick Servant. Buster Servant? No problem. Art Servant? She already was an Art Servant. No matter what you choose, she's gonna be good in any of the farming systems you have. Now the real question that I think we all should be asking is, should you pull for her? This is a really interesting question because later on, Scotty's gonna come out, and Thanksgiving is a complete curveball for NA. But if you're gonna ask for my opinion, yeah. Now before I end, is there anything else that I'm forgetting about this event? Nope. Nothing at all. And that's it for the video. This is the second time I've tried making a guide. I'm definitely not good at time management and literally had to make this in a week. As you already saw through the trailer, I had about 1 to 2 minutes done and then had a week to do the rest of this whole video. So you may have noticed that at the end, it's a bit rushed in terms of editing, and I'm not really proud of it. There were a lot more things that I wanted to do, but I had to rush it. Next video that I've planned is probably going to be a very free-form video where I just ramble about what FGO is to me, or like how I started on FGO, like a video like that. It will be a video that covers from the beginning of FGO all the way up to Lost Belt 3, and then I'm actually planning on showing and making videos of my Let's Play of Lost Belt 4, if any of you are interested. But yeah, let me know how the video was in the comments, and I'm gonna say the YouTuber words: like, favorite, and subscribe. I sound so cringy. What have I become? What the fuck am I doing?